the most popular social media platforms in Venezuela? Well, today we discuss.
Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
And of course, we know right now that social media is a big deal all over the world, throughout our lives and our social engagement and business engagement as well, I have to say. We saw our content, our, of course, entertainment. We do business, we connect with people and friends and family, and so on and so on and so on. And you can say that right now social media is your CV or your resume, and in Venezuela is no different. However, social media works different compared to your home country, depending on where you are or what you do or your age cohort. So today we are going to review each social media and their importance in Venezuelan society. The first one is Instagram, and Instagram is by far the most popular social media in Venezuela. Well, according to some data, there are a couple of others, but believe me, de facto is the most important social media in Venezuela. Believe me, this is a qualitative analysis, not a quantitative analysis. However, if you're watching this from abroad, Instagram is by far the most important social media platform, and it's not even close. Most people use it, not only the young people, but also the more, seasoned people. And regardless if you want to make friends, if you want to do some dating, or even reach some businesses, because most businesses in Venezuela, if they have social media presence, I'm talking very small mom and pops businesses, at the very least, they have an Instagram account. So it's very important, depending on what you're doing in Venezuela, you're going to need an Instagram account. Number 2 is Facebook. And actually, if you see the data, most likely Facebook has more Venezuelan users than Instagram. However, in Venezuela comes from a second tier, let's say, usage, if you want to call it. And millions of people use Facebook in Venezuela. However, it's for particular niches. First, usually are elder people that use Facebook here in Venezuela, usually our moms, my mom, my aunt, people like that. Elder people keep on with each other, keep in touch, putting the pictures of their kids, the elderly kids and their grandsons and their granddaughters, and the trips and so on. So it's mostly for elder people. Also, and this is going to be a little bit controversial, usually people that are less fancy, less refined, people that live on, let's say, lower middle class, say, stratas of the Venezuelan society, use Facebook a lot. And believe me, a lot. So if you have particular clients or particular people on that cohort, the Venezuelan society, you most likely you will reach them on Facebook. They also have Instagram, by the way, most of them, but they use Facebook more often. And now we have actually a running gag here, a running joke in Venezuela is regarding the Facebook marketplace. You can buy and sell stuff, usually use scraps and rubbish things in Venezuela, an old mattress or spare car parts, stuff like that. And it's very unsafe to use it. And sometimes you see robberies and scams and so on Facebook marketplace. So that's why I'm mentioning Facebook right now. But besides that, you have most of the people that use Facebook in Venezuela are elderly family people that just want to keep in touch among each other, so on. So a cute story to share them, something to that. If you can use it as you please. Number 3, we have TikTok. Yes, and we have TikTok in Venezuela. We have TikTok influencers. We have the funny dances and the clips and poorly edited videos. Well, I'm not anyone to say mention poorly edited videos. Well, yes, we have TikTok. However, TikTok is more of the younger cohort of the Venezuelan population, teenagers and people on the early 20s, mid 20s, something. Also, we have a bunch of elder people and people under 40s and so on using TikTok as well. However, this is the cohort that you're going to see. Actually, many people the younger people in Venezuela they communicate using TikTok and sending, usually they do their browsing, their information they get from TikTok and so on. So just in order to share the news, share the information, TikTok, yes, is very important, but mostly for younger generations. Number 4, we have Twitter, or X, as you want to call it. Well, Twitter, unlike most of the other social media platforms, is more of a niche. So it's most of the people that I know here on the east side of the country, they either don't have an account or they opened an account a few years ago and don't even use it. So it's very limited. It's usually mostly in Caracas, Valencia, and some other cities. Also, it's used mostly for more educated people like journalists and white-collar professionals and so on. More of an educated population. Also, that is used a lot for the people that use it as a second-tier social media platform. They use it mostly to complain about the government, of the situation in Venezuela, or they had an issue in a particular small town, something like that, more for news and so on. But you know how Twitter works. X, I'm sorry. And, well, so keep that in mind. So it's not like you're going to see a bunch of people. There is a bunch of Venezuelans in Twitter, but there are a minority. It's a niche thing. Usually the more educated Venezuelan people are on Twitter or X, but you're only getting a particular cohort of the Venezuelan population. Now let's go with Telegram. Telegram is used still by a cohort of Venezuelans, usually people on political stuff or maybe things like a very particular niche like cryptocurrencies, stuff like that. Also spicy content, stuff of that nature. I know a bunch of real estate people that also use Telegram in order to sell properties, stuff like that. So it's a very particular cohort. I don't use it as much, frankly. But, I mean, if you use it, good for you. Maybe you can get some advantage for particular niches of the Venezuelan society. But it's a third-tier platform. Now let's go with your favorites, LinkedIn. That actually I'm on LinkedIn, by the way. You wanna follow me? Look, Venezuela Insider /LinkedIn. And I don't even remember the address or is my particular address. I don't know. Well, LinkedIn, like always, is for wannabe people looking for jobs and stuff like of that nature, or people that have a decent job or a decent business and want to show up a little bit and, put the suit and the tie. And I do all of those things on LinkedIn as well, by the way. I'm guilty. And, well, it's just, like LinkedIn is particularly used on the rest of the world. Jobs, small businesses, big businesses, they have their own propaganda over there and so on. So the same thing, the same usage that you guys have on the rest of the world for LinkedIn, we have it same here in Venezuela. Now, Snapchat. Snapchat is not very used here in Venezuela. I know a couple of kids and a couple of gals that use Snapchat. It's not particularly popular in Venezuela, but if you have a decent account over there, well, take your shot, see what happens. And lastly, let's talk about YouTube. YouTube, of course, is the platform most likely that you are going to watch this particular content. And YouTube is it's not the most popular thing here in Venezuela due to the limitations of, internet connectivity. Has improved a lot, the internet connectivity in Venezuela on the past 3 or 4 years. But still, the people don't have that culture of consuming 2-3 hour video podcasts and so on, and be well informed via YouTube. Is not used as much, but it still is very important, has a significant cohort. And actually, we have a bunch of Venezuelan popular YouTubers, but it's not the main social media in Venezuela. Now, let's talk about this very tertiary social media platform, Pinterest. A couple of people use it, usually elder people, something like that, like, decoration, stuff like that. Not a big deal here. Tumblr, I don't even know how to use Tumblr. I don't know how to use. Not a big deal. So I don't know what to say about Tumblr. Just mentioning that nobody knows it here. Probably doesn't exist. Also, what are other things? Let's talk about the platforms of podcasts. Podcast is something very raw here, so starting to get some traction, but most people don't even know what a podcast is. They just listen it on YouTube, something like that. They don't have that culture of downloading a specific podcast episode and then listening on the gym or working out or jogging or something of that nature. Is mostly in Caracas, they have that culture on particular niches. The rest of the country, they don't even know what a podcast is, amongst just a cohort, very small cohort of people and each. And lastly, well, I'm most likely forgetting one of your favorite social media platforms, and I cannot wait to read your comments below.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.